So you talked about the importance of continuous learning. What do you do and what are you doing to develop your continuous learning as a CEO?
Yeah. It's as a CEO, it's easy to get siloed. You get managers that give you yeses, you get employees that give you yeses. They don't really want to point things out to you. They don't really want to say, hey, this doesn't look good, or this looks poor, or we need to improve this part. So it's very easy as a management team or CEO to kind of get siloed and think everything's going great. And you're looking at the numbers going, oh, well, the numbers aren't going great. What's going on? What's I'm hearing yeses from everyone. I'm hearing we're doing just fine, but what's really the situation? So the continuous learning is that if you're seeing the results not match what you think they should be as a CEO, that's kind of a red flag that you're not improving and doing the continuous learning on your side. You need to step up. You need to lead and start being the one that's charging into new technology, or something new in the industry. It's your job to pick yourself up. As far as resources or locations or sources of learning, I mean, blogs, websites, news articles, that's kind of what I rely on. That's kind of the latest and greatest. Podcasts are great. I love podcasts on the kind of management strategy side, because you're really learning how other people do that. But as a CEO, you realize even canoe building is very close to software development, and what they're learning there is applicable. So that's my side on the CEO. That's my spiel on the CEO side. It's very easy to get lost behind or not do it.
Yeah. Well, I think what I really take away from that, when I think is an important approach, is, the idea between leading and lagging indicators, that like the organization's success is a function of your ability as a leader to increase
Absolutely.
your capacity.
Absolutely. If you're lagging as an organization, it's your job as a leader to step up and go there. And one of the best things about my MBA, one of the things I learned there is, if an organization is not doing well, it's management's fault. Always, across the board. We would do these case studies, and I'd come up and our answer would be like, well, the product wasn't accepted by the market, or the pricing was too high and it wasn't successful. And we were constantly taught, no, management was ineffective. Management didn't realize pricing was incorrect. They didn't realize the features needed to be there, and they didn't do it. Management's fault is why that company was failing or lagging. And that helped to kind of put the onus on management or on yourself and say, hey, if it's not working, then I need to do it. It's up to me.
Just on that note, as a practice, when do you take those reflection moments? Like, do you do strategy offsites? Do you do just like your own reflection time? You go off into the woods in Utah and just, pray for 3 days or whatever. Sorry, non-religious thinking.
Sure.
How do you reflect on, hey, is management doing their job?
Yeah. Well, first, we have our board of directors meetings every quarter. So right there's a good gauge every quarter of where we're going, where we're doing, and where we've come from. And so right there, as a board, if you have a good board, as CEO, they come to you and they say, hey, you guys are doing amazing. What's going on that you're doing amazing? Can you really put together what you've done over the last 6 months or year to make it so that you had an amazing quarter, so that we can kind of replicate that? On the switch side or flip side of that is, you guys aren't doing well. What's going on? What's happened in the last quarter, in the last 6 months, or in the last year? Are you losing focus as a CEO? Is your management team losing focus? Are you holding your employees accountable or your managers accountable? Is that what's going on? Is it a slip of accountability? What's going on that's causing the slide in sales or in your revenue? So if you have a really good board, that can help you. And then from there, for me, I take that information and then I internalize it over the next month or so and say, okay, I get what they're saying to me. Let me try and investigate and see what I can do better. And that's where, you look for podcasts and things like that. But I talk to my management team. I'll be open with them and say, hey, what's going on? Are we being too lax? Are we being too strict? Are we, what's going on? Why aren't we doing this, and this? Why are we getting the results we have? And it's kind of an investigation, because it's never simple. It's never one or two items. It's usually a variety of points that come together and that are causing that kind of issues and concerns or lagging results.
Yeah. So I hear, having the accountability even at your level. So having that board system, having feedback loops, both positive and negative. And one of the things that, especially since you have a sales background, that 3, 6, 12-month sort of reflection is obviously, if you're not doing calls 3 months ago, and I'm in this saying, hey, how do I reach out with people? It's like the results you have today is a function of the work that you did over the 3 to 6 months prior, not like today's results are going to pan out tomorrow. So having that longer term view.
And if you start doing it correctly today, start doing your calls today, you're not going to get results tomorrow. You got 3 months, 6 months to get those results. So you got to institute those or implement those changes as soon as possible. But even then, you got a long time to go until you're going to see that improvement in most cases.
Even with the example of hey, we need to get certified, that took 3 years total. And it was a game changer. And it took a long time. So really making sure that you start building your case early. And sometimes it doesn't happen in one conversation, which we won't, that could probably be a whole different podcast, is how you got that change management process. Just as we finish up here, Paul, what is the one thing as a leader you're like, you haven't solved yet? What is that like big challenge that you're facing with, again, without giving away anything sort of proprietary?
Sure.
What is that big challenge you're facing right now that you see moving forward into 2021 and even into 2022?
I think what it is on my side is collaboration and kind of synergy throughout the company. I think that's the challenge in the future. Is you have salespeople you mentioned earlier that are kind of like always just flying off the handle, selling whatever, and then you have a dev team that has to deliver. And I think one of our challenges, and it's always a challenge for me, is to get them both on the same page and say, hey, if we do this, we make X amount of money. If we do this, this client will be happy. Let's all work together. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's annoying that all of a sudden you get a call saying in 2 days you have to develop XYZ feature. Absolutely, we get it. But at the same time, we want the excitement that the sales reps are like, hey, I can sell this and we'll be able to deliver and I can make my client happy. And then I can move on to the next client. And the dev team going, hey, we got this, we got this feature request. Let's knock it out, make this customer happy and show them how good we are and go on to the next stage and the next client, the next feature request and things like that. That's kind of my challenge, is to kind of get everyone on the same page. Hey, let's be successful together and let's get there together.